and I am so happy that you will be joining us for this Presbytery meeting coming up for the Presbytery of Detroit on November 19th. Being Presbyterian, we're a little bit different from some other denominations in that we're a connectional church, and we're also a church in which we have a government that's not, we don't like to call it representational. We like to call it a government of commissioning. That is a government, a polity in which the smaller part that is called to do the governance, that is the ruling and teaching elders, makes decisions for the larger whole of the church. We're connectional because our churches do not stand on their own, like in some congregational or non-denominational churches. Each congregation makes decisions for itself. Our Presbyterian polity is connectional, meaning that we work together, and we work not only with this presbytery, with this geographic region, but with our synod across a larger region, with General Assembly across this nation, and even through the World Alliance of Reformed Churches, with other churches around the world that come from the Reformed tradition. And even through them, we are part of the World Council of Churches of all Christians. So it's really a gift to be part of this connectional and representational system. So a couple of things, if you're a new commissioner, if you're a ruling elder who's been told you're going to Presbytery, a couple of things that'll be helpful for you to know. And I'm going to share my screen. All right, one is that we've got up on our website on DetroitPresbytery.org this document, Presbytery of Detroit, How to Presbytery. And I think it's really neat, and it's not too long either. So please take a look at this. It gives you so much information about what to expect in a Presbytery meeting, who is able to vote, how you should participate, items to help you if you're going to make a motion, and what the rules are specifically to our presbytery. I even have some beautiful charts in here about Robert's Rules of Order that might even be helpful to you, even if you've been to a number of these presbytery meetings. We can always learn more. And another paper that I wanted to show you, first of all, is our docket. Our docket is basically like our agenda, but we do put on there what the presbytery papers are, and then you'll be able to look in the papers that are posted on the website. We also put them together into one big packet once we have all of them, so that you can see what we're referring to. And I do ask that you would really prepare in advance on these items, specifically for the General Assembly Book of Order amendments, which I'm going to talk a little bit more about. So a little bit more about this particular meeting. We are going to the First Presbyterian Church of Saline, which has graciously offered to host. And as all our meetings will be this year, this will be a hybrid meeting, meaning that you can also fully participate online. There are specific instructions about how to do that and how to vote that will be distributed along with the presbytery papers. You're going to need to zoom in and then open a separate window and log in for your voting so that we can all vote together and accurately. If you are able to come in person, we have really nifty remote controls that even show you what you voted right on there. And I wanted to really highlight that with this voting system that we have, it's a really great system. You can even change your vote. So let's say you voted yes by accident, you can vote no, and it'll show you right on the little screen, if you have one of these remotes, what your current vote is. The last vote that you cast is the one that actually counts. And it's the same if you are voting online. But please do pay attention and please do vote as quickly as possible, because we only do about a 10 to 15-second window for voting so that we can keep the meeting moving along in a timely fashion. So we are going to be at First Presbyterian Saline, and we have something really different and I think really neat, which is that First Presbyterian Church of Saline happens to be getting a new pastor, Reverend Kimberly Ashby, and she has asked, and her congregation has asked, that her installation can take place right there during the Presbytery worship service. And we said, well, why not? So we'll all get to be there for this really exciting moment for the First Presbyterian Church of Saline. Also, at this meeting, we have nominations. As a former chair, actually, of nominations, I know how hard it is to get a slate of nominees for all of the committees and teams that we have in the Presbytery, and to get a moderator and vice moderator candidate. So hands down, hats off to our committee on nominations for all of that work. Those nominees will be brought forward for a vote at this meeting. Also, we'll have those book of order amendments that I talked to you about. We've created two separate papers on that. One is the paper with all of the amendments that are being proposed, and the other is just the amendments that are being voted on in this meeting. There's 33 total amendments, and we decided to split them, 11 amendments per meeting for the next 3 meetings, so we don't have to vote on 33 amendments in one meeting. So basically, this is kind of similar to the process of the United States Constitution. Our General Assembly approved a number of amendments to the book of order, but they do have to go through the ratification process at all of the presbyteries. So please read those amendments carefully before the meeting. And of course, we will have an opportunity to discuss them at the meeting, but if you can read up on them and think about and pray about your vote, that's going to be very helpful to you. We're going to celebrate the life of one of our congregations, Dearborn's Littlefield Presbyterian Church, which made many contributions to our presbytery and to the surrounding community over the years. I actually remember bringing kids back to Peace Camp when Littlefield Presbyterian was reaching out to its Muslim neighbors to create some wonderful moments of interfaith ministry. So we're looking forward to hearing about and celebrating the life of Dearborn Littlefield as we trust in God's resurrection for the people of that congregation and for the ministries and the work that they did to continue living on through all of us. Also, our presbytery budget is coming up for a vote this meeting, so make sure that you do look very carefully at the budget and what's being proposed for us to be good stewards of the resources God has given us. In this presbytery, it does take a 2/3 vote to pass the budget. So do please look carefully and read carefully. And as always, if you have a question or something that you would like to discuss, make sure that you do gain recognition at the meeting so that the moderator can give you that recognition and you can speak for or against the budget or a specific part of the budget. You can make a motion to amend. All of those are part of our polity, and you will see in all of the papers that we have the procedures by which you can do that. Also, vision and mission statements for our presbytery. The strategic planning team has been working hard, has been collecting input throughout the presbytery, because their calling was that they really believe that the first step in re-envisioning our presbytery is to figure out what our mission and vision is. And so working with so many different folks across this presbytery, they do have this proposal for our new mission and vision. So take a look at that. That is very important for our presbytery moving forward. And finally, we have a candidate for ordination. It's always exciting when we have someone who has discerned their call to ministry and who is coming forward to be ordained. In this case, it is Brendan Ashley. And we are looking forward to meeting Brendan, to hearing from him, and to the opportunity to welcome him into our presbytery as he begins his ministry with us. So do be looking forward to that as well. And please read Brendan's statement of faith and all of the documentation of his journey to this point in his life following God's call. So that will be our presbytery meeting on November 19th. I look forward very much to being with you on that day. And thank you again for being part of our connectional church.